Hello, I'm Perry from Rennet and Rind, and I'm talking to you today because you would have received one of these lovely boxes with 5 British artisan cheeses, and I'm the person behind selecting these and working out, maturing them. I think that's a really important point, actually. I should introduce, I'm an affineur. An affineur is someone who literally refines cheese, brushing, turning, washing, getting the best out of the cheese, keeping them in the right conditions. I've been awarded the only competition in our field. The first year that the competition won, I was awarded Affineur of the Year. The second year, I won that. I took a year off to go and judge, and I come bringing very good news because as of a couple of days ago, I became this year's Affineur of the Year. So I've won 3 competitions back to back. Not back to back, sorry, I took a year off, in my field, which is amazing. It's amazing that we can keep on doing what we're doing because people just love affinage. And it was such a small industry when we began, and it's growing and we're getting better at it. And thank you so much for your support. To be Britain's best cheese maturer, 3 times I've entered, voted blind, our cheese arrive on day 1. And then we get like a year, let's just say a year, there's varying ages. And then some of the best cheese people in the world blind judge those cheeses. And I get an accolade out of every single competition where I've entered. It is amazing. So hopefully that should give you a good idea that maybe I might start believing it, that I might know a little bit of what I'm talking about. So yeah, enough about me and how good I am, apparently. And let's talk about these 5 British artisan cheeses. You've got your tasting notes in the box. You've got your spare crackers. We always use Peter's Yard, nice and neutral. And let's talk about some of these cheeses. Let's move this out of the way. So first up, a real seasonal cheese. It's called Pietell. It's made by Emily at Broughton Hall Dairies. This cheese has been going for 2 years. Sheep's milk cheese. And it's looking fantastic. I really love to support local. When Emily's running low on milk, she actually gets milk from my village as well. So there's a lovely connection there to this cheese in such an intricate way. And for such a good new cheesemaker, it looks outstanding. There's this vermiculated brain-like rind on the outside. That's geotrichum, which you want to see in all lovely soft sheep's milk cheeses. Let's have a little taste. Well, let me just cut straight down rather barbarically and see what we think. Beautiful breakdown on the outside. A little bit of rind slip, so that's when the rind detaches from the core, but I don't think that's going to add to the experience. On the aroma, really beautiful. There's just a hint of like lanolin and sheep, which kind of let you know what you're about to experience, which is really beautiful to see, actually. Let me cut off a kind of Pez size one more, so let's have a taste. Really thick and claggy, really clean and bright. Beautiful amount of lactic acidity that's in there. A little touch of sheep at the back, which is nice. So we're getting that slight bit of pepper, but it's quite nice. But the texture is delicious. That is dense. Very dense cheese. Lovely delicateness to it. A little bit of floral that's in there. And that pepper is beautiful, just coming in from underneath the rind. Really, really stunning cheese, actually. That was your first cheese. That's Pietell. I also got awarded this apron by Mons as well. So Laura Mons came over from France to judge the cheeses, and it's the first year. So I've got a bespoke Affineur of the Year apron, which is amazing. So so your next cheese up is Kirkham's Lancashire. One of the oldest cheeses we make in the UK, one of the best, and it's a phenomenal cheese. We really love it. We love the fact that territorials are really hard to get people to buy them, actually. They're a little bit one-dimensional, and when they're crowded with so many cheeses, you really have to engage with it. So let's have a little sniff. So we're getting that kind of bright acidity from it, grass. I get like that butter, like almost that butter warmth from it. A little bit buttermilky, actually, on the aroma, but quite light for a Kirkham's. Normally they're quite strong. These ones are a little bit more creamier. So let's just have a taste and see what we think. Great texture. Dry, but not dry. You're getting that kind of crumble effect across the palate, but it's not leaving you to run for a glass of milk or a glass of beer or something like that. And this acidity is so direct. a nice gradual ramp up. You're going to get the low ebbs of that milkiness that's in there, that lactic, and it builds. It becomes more like natural vinegar, kind of cider vinegar, subtle. And it has a nice savoury note to it, actually. When it leaves the palate and you breathe in a little bit, you get this kind of really pleasant, savoury after kind of vibe to it. A lot going on there for such a simple cheese, but so important, this cheese and its journey. Like I say, eat the cheese in order because they all do things to one another. And this resets our palate ready for another fantastic cheese, one of my favourites, St. Helena. So it's been in the box a few times, but it's tasting really great at the moment. We had Julie Cheney up at the shop and she brought some St. Helena in and it was delicious. So another cheesemaker from Suffolk, just like Emily from Bruton Hall, the first cheese you had. It's got this really beautiful rind on the outside, like almost Nectaire kind of style on there as well. And the paste, once again, feels really dense with like rich quality milk. So their milk is currently from Baron Bigod, Montbéliard cows. So you're expecting a lot that goes on there. The aroma is to die for. There's a lot of funk that's going in there. Musty, mushrooms, earthy, girole kind of area. That is a really delicious aroma. And I know this cheese is going to be really pleasant and Moorish already and quite subtle. Let's have a taste. Texture is delicious. So compact and so smooth as well. As it hits the palate and you get that temperature breakdown that goes on, you get to push it around your mouth. You know, it's a little bit of an exercise, but the flavors are just so clean and pronounced and the milk quality really, really shines through. Closer to that rind, you're getting a bit more of that mushroom that we're talking about. So a little bit more button mushroom kind of in there. And then just this lovely milkiness. And it's got this kind of pure, as it leaves the palate, kind of creme fraiche vibe as well at the end. A little bit of that milky tang that's in there, which leaves it really, really nice and pleasant. St. Helena, it's tasting delicious. Looks delicious as well, I mean. There's a lot of care. That thin rind on the outside is just expertly done. So well done, Blake. Blake's the head cheesemaker on this. He's a great guy, awesome cheesemaker. Next one up is very, very exciting. So this little cheese is called Cornish Kern. Cornish Kern is made by Catherine Mead at Liner Dairies, famed for the Cornish Yarg, the mammoth that is Cornish Yarg in the artisan world. And this was her first cheese that she made outside of that. And yeah, this cheese won at the World Cheese Awards. So where we judge, you know, in various countries, 4,600 cheeses, this became supreme champion. I think it was in 2017 or 2018, which made it the best cheese in the world. Now, because it became the best cheese in the world, batches were extremely limited. And just think that is so many years ago, and we've only really got on top of it. So this is a box first, the Cornish Kern. And I've been asking all the time, can we have more? Can we? Because I really, really want you guys to try this cheese. It's such a phenomenal one. I mean, it's got this striking black plastic coat on the outside that just locks in the moisture. It's a cooked milk cheese, so you're heating the milk to kind of create more moisture loss. So you get this beautiful kind of almost flinty but pliant texture. And the aroma is just delicious. It is so nutty, but it's not obvious. It's refined and it's beautiful and it's really inviting. Let's have a taste. The rigidity of the texture, the spring back there it has, makes it really lovely and chewy. Unlocks so much more. That salty savouriness that's in there. It's just so delicious. And the texture, as you chew it down and you work it into a paste, you almost get this kind of flour, roux-like texture. I always, when I have this cheese, it always reminds me of a bechamel sauce. Rich and just full-bodied and Moorish and warm, and the nuttiness is just so complex as well. This is a stunning cheese, and I feel like anyone who tries this is going to be straight online ordering more for home because that is sensational. Another tip that I love to do, if you're ever doing some scrambled eggs, whack a bit of grating across them on that. Really lifts up the richness of a really bright yolk scrambled eggs. Phenomenal. Cornish Kern. Enjoy that. That's outrageously good. So final is something a little bit more traditional. Our friends over at Cropwell Bishop, we felt like our palette was a little bit lacking in big colour. So we felt like Getting a little bit of the Shropshire Blue in there. Shropshire was one of the entrants for the Affineur of the Year, so there's that connection to it as well. So really great people, know how to have a laugh, really know their stuff. I mean, I know that sounds obvious, but we were having a chat after Affineur of the Year and talking about the complexities of maturing Stilton, humidity and temperature. And, you know, these guys have been doing it for years, and I think they're one of the best. Cropwell at the Melton Mowbray Artisan Cheese Awards won Best Stilton that year, this year. So they really know what they're doing. It's a really tough market. But this colouring that's in there, that is annatto. Annatto is a South American seed that's crushed down, put it into the milk, which gives it this orange hue kind of colour. You can see that in your red Leicesters, you know, and other things. The aroma is very biscuity. Lighter, though, I always find that the Shropshire and the annatto does something with the cheese where it feels far more brighter and kind of lacks depth, but in a good way. So it goes alongside all and light Moorish cheeses. Lovely selection of cheese, don't mind saying so myself, let's have a taste. So light. You know, that's what's important about putting these boxes together. The textural differences between them is so important. And to have that lift of that lightness and also come around and tick boxes for us in a way. So we're looking at all the simple flavours when we put these boxes together. Sweet, savoury, salt, acidity, bitterness. You know, and I know most people don't really like bitterness hugely, but actually it really plays part. You've got all the simple flavours going on there. This is that kind of bitter, astringent edge. Like, they sound like such negative words, but it's so pleasant. I mean, it's like having a refreshing, you know, you've had some big, sweet flavours there, a lot going on, and then just get this alkalinity that's in this cheese that just tastes just like having a nice gin and tonic, you know, on a hot summer's day. It's got that refreshing vibe to it, with that degree of complexity. Really delicious blue, actually. The texture's to die for. Very, very Moorish. I would imagine I'm going to just actually just take a little bit off from the rind, because I think you're going to get, you know, it's unfair for me to just try the centre of the cheese, and you get far more depth, meatiness and biscuity just underneath that rind, which is gorgeous. So you're treated to the full journey there throughout that whole cheese. And that's it. That's your 5 cheeses for this month. I think it's a knockout. I love them all. I'm going to be eating these myself because I just think they work so well together. Lovely to support small British artisan cheesemakers. You know, primarily, let's think about Emily making cheese for 2 years, doing a phenomenally precise job. I mean, you know, this is really hard to do. You know, and these are really susceptible to getting some dark molds on the outside. It's just nature, it's what happens. And the batch that I've opened, yours may be different at home, is absolutely spotless. So masterful. Well done, Emily. So thank you so much. And that is your mystery cheese box for the month of June, my birthday month. That's why I really enjoy doing this box, because it is a little bit more to what I love. So thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Another win for Rennet and Rind. Let's pull that around. Affineur of the Year 2025. Thank you for all your support. Catch you next time.